Hey kids, so for today, pag-uusapan natin yung tinatawag na Taylor and Maclaurin series. So let's have a quick recall do sa mga napag-usapan na natin nung nakaraang meetings. So kung tatandaan natin, una, given a power series, kaya natin maghanap ng function na nagre-represent sa kanya. And in particular, yung domain ng ating function is exactly kulang to. It's exactly the interval of convergence ng power series na nire-represent niya. The interval of convergence of the power series it represents. Then pangalawa, pwede nating baligtarin yung idea, no? Given a function, nahanapin natin yung power series na nagre-represent sa kanya. And tong power series na to, napakita natin na nagbibigay siya ng magandang approximation nung function within some interval of convergence. So, type ko ulit. This should be interval of convergence. So, ano yung gagawin natin ngayon? Gusto natin i-expand yung number 2 kasi kung tatandaan natin tong number 2, nagagawa lang natin siya kapag kaya nating isulat yung function involved as 1 over 1 minus f of x. So, ngayon, gusto nating i-generalize pa and makahanap ng polynomial approximation sa mas marami pang klase ng functions. So, paano natin siya gagawin? Well, we can consider a function f. Suppose meron kang function f at itong function na to ay kaya nating isulat as a power series. So, assume that we have a function of this form. X minus a to the n. Ayan. Then, let's just write this one term by term. So, observe that if n equals 0, then makukuha natin dito c sub 0 times x minus a raised to 0. But by definition, this is just 1. So, we get c sub 0 plus if you get n equals 1, we have c sub 1 times x minus a raised to 1 plus c sub 2 x minus a raised to 2. So on and so forth. Ang gawin natin ngayon, silipin natin yung derivative ni f. So pag i-differentiate ko to, ano yung mangyayari? C naught will disappear kasi constant lang siya. Ito, we have x minus a raised to 1 here by power rule. Matitira na lang si c sub 1. Tapos for this one, matitira na lang ay si 2 times c sub 2 times x minus a. This is basically power rule lang, no? Dagdagan natin yung terms para mas maging illustrative tayo. So, if n equals 3, we have x minus a cubed here. If n equals 4, then we have c sub 4 x minus a raised to 4, so on and so forth. So, i-differentiate naman natin to by power rule. Bababa si 3, so we have 3 times c sub 3 times x minus a raised to 3 minus 1. So that's 2. Tuloy pa natin. This one naman becomes 4 c sub 4 times x minus a raised to 3. So on and so forth. And then in particular, we can see that if we evaluate this at the center, if we evaluate at f prime of a, ito mawawala. Ito mawawala. So itong buong to, wala. Wala to. Lahat nung natira, wala. So, we can see that f prime of a equals c sub 1. Next, kunin natin si f double prime. Si f double prime of x ay ito, mawawala. If we differentiate this one, anong matitira? Matitira ay 2 times c sub 2. Dito naman, bababa natin yung 2. So, we have 3 times 2 times c sub 3 times x minus a. Dito naman sa isa, we have 4 times 3 times c sub 4 x minus a raised to 2, so on and so forth. And similarly, evaluate natin at the center. If evaluate at the center, mawawala to, mawawala to, mawawala lahat to, matitira ay 2 times c sub 2. And in fact, we can see na c sub 2 is f double prime of a over 2, which let me write in a more elegant way. Maybe we can write this one as f double prime of a over 2 factorial. Bakit to pwede? Kasi si 2 factorial ay 2 times 1 lang, which is 2. Try naman natin si triple prime of x. If we get the third derivative, this one is gone. Dito, mawawala lang yung x minus a. So we'll have 3 times 2 times c sub 3. For this one naman, bababa si 2. So we have 4 times 3 times 2 times c sub 4 times x minus a plus dot dot dot. And once again, evaluate natin at the center. Pag ginawa natin yun, this one is 0, the rest is 0. Matitira ay 3 times 2 c sub 3. Therefore, giving us c sub 3 to be equal to f triple prime of a over 3 times 2. Pero si 3 times 2, pwede natin siya isulat as 3 factorial. Saan yung napapansin natin? Si c sub 1, siya ay f prime of a. Pero ito, pwede kong isulat as c sub 1 equals f prime of a over 1 factorial. Si c sub 2, pwede natin isulat as f triple prime of a over 2 factorial. C sub 3, we have f triple prime of a over 3 factorial. And if you observe, we can deduce that for any n, sa set of natural numbers, yung ating c sub n, siya ay f to the n of a over n factorial. In fact, we can see it here. Hindi pala natin napakita si c sub 0. If you get f of a, if you get f of a here, lahat to mawawala. Matitira si c sub 0. Pero ito, pwede ko isulat as f of a over 0 factorial. Kung tatandaan natin, by definition, 0 factorial is 1. Tapos si f of a, loosely speaking, pwede nating isipin na 0th derivative siya. So, hindi ka nag-differentiate, no? So, as we can see, from c sub 0 all the way till the end, we have this pattern right here. So, ginawa natin, itong power series representation natin, ay sinulat natin as the summation ng nth derivative of a over n factorial times x minus a raised to n, where n runs from 0 to positive infinity. So as you can see, given a power series representation, kaya nating makuha exactly what the coefficients are. And ang coefficients niya is just the nth derivative of the function evaluated at the center divided by n factorial. Itong series na to, ito yung tinatawag natin na Taylor series expansion ng isang function centered at x equals a. So basically, when we say Taylor series, it's just the power series representation of your function centered at x equals a, pero binibigyan lang natin ng special appearance yung power series representation na yun. So, let's just remember na ang Taylor series is the power series representation of your function centered at x equals a. Bigyan lang natin ng special na pangalan yung Taylor series at x equals 0. If it's at x equals 0, we call it the Maclaurin series for G. So in general, it's called Taylor series, pero pag x equals 0, may special lang siya na pangalan, we call it the Maclaurin series. So try natin ngayon na maghanap ng Taylor series for g of x equals 1 over x about x equals 1 and determine the interval of convergence of the Taylor series. So, paano natin siya gagawin? By definition, kailangan natin lahat ng derivatives niya or the nth derivative. So, observe na kapag kinuha natin si g prime of x, this is negative 1 over x squared. Tapos, if we get g double prime of x, we get here 2 over x cubed. Dapat nasusundan nyo to, no? Si g of x kasi, pwede natin isulat as x to the negative 1. So, kapag dinifferentiate natin siya by power rule, magkakaroon ka ng negative 1 here. Tapos, magma-minus 1 ka dito. So, you get negative 1 x to the negative 2. Then, pag tinuloy nyo yan, baba nyo to, you get 2 times x to the negative 3. Then, kapag g triple prime, you can also see na ito ay negative 6 over x raised to 4. Pero lahat to, pwede kong isulat in a specific manner. Yung negative 1, pwede ko siya isipin as negative 1 to the 1. Tapos I have here 1 over x squared, which I can also write as 1 plus 1. Ito naman, since positive siya, I can think of it as negative 1 raised to 2. Tapos yung 2, pwede ko isipin as 2 times 1 over x to the 2 plus 1. Ito naman, I can think of this as negative 1 to the 3 times 3 times 2 times 1 over x to the 3 plus 1. Pero ano yung ginawa ko? Sinulat ko lang siya as negative 1 to the 1. Ito, pwede ko isipin as 1 factorial over x to the 1 plus 1. And kung gagawin ko siya doon sa iba, I get negative 1 to the 2 times 2 factorial over x to the 2 plus 1. Ito naman, negative 1 to the 3 times 3 factorial over x to the 3 plus 1. So from here, maybe napapansin nyo na yung pattern. So we can deduce. So we deduce that for n in n, for any natural number n, yung nth derivative at x is negative 1 to the power of n and factorial over x to the n plus 1. And in particular, since centered tayo at x equals 1, ang gusto nating kunin is yung nth derivative at x equals 1. If we plug 1 here, ang matitira na lang ay negative 1 to the n times n factorial. Okay? So, now na alam na natin yung nth derivative at x equals 1, that already takes care of this one right here. Kulang na lang natin is yung n factorial. So, dividing both sides by n factorial, matitira na lang sa atin ay negative 1 to the n. So, with this, pwede na nating isulat yung ating Taylor series. So, the Taylor series for g of x equals 1 over x centered at x equals 1 is given by, so ito, itong gn of 1 over n factorial, siya yung magiging coefficient. So, we'll get here summation ng negative 1 to the n. Tapos for this one, nasa na siya? This one, so we get x minus a, which is yung center, so x minus 1 to the n times x minus 1 to the n, where n goes from 0 to positive infinity. So, okay, meron na tayong Taylor series. Ngayon, kailangan natin yung interval of convergence. So, paano natin nahanapin yung interval of convergence? Observe na since we have the same power here, pwede ko silang i-combine. So, we can rewrite this one. We can rewrite this one as summation from n equals 0 to positive infinity ng negative 1 times x minus 1 to the power n. And this time, kung titignan natin yung form nito, what we have is a geometric series. So this one is a geometric series. And dahil geometric series siya, kailan siya magko-converge? Magko-converge siya kapag yung common ratio or yung absolute value ng common ratio ay less than 1. So this converges, converges if absolute value ng negative of x minus 1 is less than 1. And if you expand this one, mapapakita nyo na yung x ay in between 0 and 2. So, ganun lang si Taylor series, no? For you to get the Taylor series, you have to observe kung ano yung general pattern for the nth derivative of the function. Then, after that, i-compute nyo na yung g of n, nth derivative of g at a over n factorial. So, let's have another example. This time, hanapin daw natin yung Maclaurin series ng e raised to x. Tapos, pakita natin na yung Maclaurin series at yung function na e raised to x ay equal for all x dun sa kanyang interval of convergence. So, dalawa yung kailangan natin gawin here, no? Una, given tayo ng function, kailangan from the function, mahanap natin yung kanyang Maclaurin series. Pero gaya na sinabi natin, yung Maclaurin series or yung Taylor series in general, that is the power series representation of your function. However, representation pa lang siya, so we don't have any way to say yet na equal nga ang isang function at ang kanyang power series representation. So ano yung kailangan natin gawin to show na equal sila for all x in the interval of convergence? Well, babaligtarin natin yung scenario. This time, starting with the power series representation, hahanapin natin kung ano yung function na nire-represent niya. Once na magawa natin yan, as you can see, we have formed an entire loop, and from that, we have established na yung function at yung kanyang power series representation, lagi silang equal within its interval of convergence. So take note, when we say Maclaurin series, ano nga ulit ibig sabihin nito? If Maclaurin, that is just the Taylor evaluated at x equals 0. So kailangan natin gawin ngayon is i-observe yung pattern for the nth derivative. So observe that if you differentiate si f of x, you get e raised to x, and naturally, since you get the same f prime, makikita nyo na ang f double prime should also be the same, the third derivative should also be the same, and it continues. So from here, we can deduce na for any n in n, for any natural number n, ang kanyang nth derivative ay si e raised to x lamang. And from here, we see that the nth derivative evaluated at the center, which dahil Maclaurin, that's x equals 0, all over n factorial will just be e raised to 0, which is 1, over n factorial. So given this one, the Maclaurin series of f of x equals e raised to x is the summation from n equals 0 to positive infinity ng this one right here, 1 over n factorial times x minus a, but ang a natin ay 0, so we just get x. So we have x raised to n, or sulat lang natin na mas maganda, we get x raised to n over n factorial. Clear tayo with this one. So ngayon, gawin natin yung kabaligtaran, no? By the way, iwan ko sa inyo as exercise, you can show that the IOC of this one is the entire set of real numbers. So, pwede nyo tong gawin by applying the ratio test within this one. So, ngayon, na alam na natin yung Maclaurin series representation, Maclaurin series, gusto natin gawin yung kabaligtaran starting with the Maclaurin series. Check natin kung makukuha natin yung function. So now, para lang mas maging clear yung ating writing, tawagin nating h of x yung ating Maclaurin series representation. So let h of x be equal to the summation n equals 0 to positive infinity ng x raised to n over n factorial. To establish this one, ang gagawin ko is kukuha ko nung tinatawag na differential equation. So pag sinabi natin differential equation, this is an equation that involves the variable itself, x, yung function, and its derivatives. So gagawin ko ngayon, check natin kung ano mangyayari kapag dinifferentiate ko to. So pag dinifferentiate ko to, I'll get h prime of x equals, so by power rule, this is just n times x to the n minus 1 over n factorial. And yung summation natin, since kapag n equals 0, ito ay magiging 0, itong buong to magiging constant. And if we differentiate a constant, magzi-0 itong buong to, no? So yung ating 0th term, it will vanish. So we start now at n equals 1 to positive infinity. Pero observe, n over n factorial, ito ay n all over. I can factor out n here. May matitira ako na n minus 1 factorial. And I can cancel this one. I get 1 over n minus 1 factorial. So magkakaroon ako ng summation from n equals 1 to positive infinity, x to the n minus 1 over n minus 1 factorial. But wait, hindi ba ito is the same as this one, pero sinift lang natin siya na instead of starting at n equals 0, nag-i-start tayo at n equals 1. So ito, pwede ko pa rin siyang isulat further as summation from n equals 0 to positive infinity ng x to the n over n factorial. At ito is just my h of x. So ano yung nakita natin? So nakita natin na kung yung h of x has this form, then automatically h prime of x equals h of x. And kung titignan natin ano yung sinasabi nito, sinasabi lang nito na yung derivative daw ng function is itself. And isa lang yung possible na equation or function h na pwede nating isipin. And ang pwede lang dyan is lahat ng exponential function e raised to x. And from here, we can say that h of x is just e raised to x plus any constant c for some real number c. So, paano natin nasabi to? That's because alam natin na si e raised to x lang yung function na kapag differentiate natin would give you the same exact function. So now that we know that h of x equals e raised to x plus c, we have to determine what this c right here is. So paano natin siya gagawin? Well, one simple way is i-evaluate natin tong h at the center. So if x equals 0, ano yung makikita natin? Yung h of 0 from the power series representation would just be the summation from n equals 0 to positive infinity ng 0 to the n over n factorial. However, take note, medyo mali na sabihin to, no? Bakit? Recall that for any x in R, yung x minus a raised to 0, ito ay 1. Pero yung ating power series representation right here, nag-i-start siya at n equals 0 So if you plug n equals 0, you'll get x raised to 0 here equals 1. So gagawin ko, ihiwalay ko yung 0th term. So I'll have here x raised to 0 over 0 factorial plus summation from n equals 1 to positive infinity ng x raised to n over n factorial. But if I plug 0 here, ito ay magiging 0 to the n na lang, no? 0 to the n. Ito naman would just end up being 1. So magkakaroon ako dito ng 1 over 0 factorial, which is just 1. Tapos ito, dahil hindi na 0 yung n, automatically si 0 to the n, siya ay magiging 0. And dahil 0 yung taas, itong buong to ay 0. So we get h of 0 equals 1. And from this form of h of x here, we also see that h of 0 is e raised to 0 plus c, giving me c. C plus 1 rather. So this gives us two forms of h of 0. It's both 1 and c plus 1. So therefore, dapat si c plus 1 at 1 ay equal, giving us c equals 0. Hence, we know that h of x equals e raised to x. So kung titingnan natin yung una nating ginawa, given f of x equals e raised to x, we have shown that the power series representation for this one is this one right here. Then the other way around, given a function whose power series representation is this one, pinakita natin na yung form niya is e raised to x. And therefore, that means na yung Maclaurin series at yung function itself, sila ay equal for all x in its interval of convergence. Okay? So, although it is intuitive to think na yung Taylor series at yung function ay laging equal, unfortunately, hindi siya totoo, no? So, as a warning, it is not always the case na yung function ay equal to its power series at all points in the interval of convergence. As an example, pwede nating tignan ang f of x to be defined in this manner. We can say na 0 siya if x is less than or equal to 0, but if x is positive, gawin nating e to the negative 1 over x. So, paano natin nahanapin ang Taylor series representation nito? So, gagawin natin is, kukunin lang natin yung n derivatives niya, no? So, observe na yung first derivative nito at 0. So, take note, since this is a piecewise defined function, kailangan nating tignan yung kanyang derivative from the left and from the right, no? But since 0 naman to, automatically, yung f prime of 0 from the left, ito ay 0 na agad. So, gagawin natin, kukunin natin yung f prime of 0 from the right. Ito ay yung limit as x approaches 0 from the right ng f prime of x. And in particular, if x approaches 0 from the right, that means we're looking at values of x that are greater than 0. So, ang kukuhanan natin ng derivative here is the one that corresponds if x is greater than 0, which is e to the negative 1 over x. Then you can see by simple computation na yung derivative nito is just 0. Tapos gaya ng sinabi natin kanina, yung f prime of 0 from the left, ito ay 0. So, f prime of 0 equals 0. Then, a similar argument, kaya nyong i-verify. So, you can verify as well that yung nth derivative ni f at 0 is in fact 0 for all n. So, therefore, the Taylor series of f at x equals 0 is this one right here. So summation n equals 0 to positive infinity ng nth derivative at 0 over n factorial times x minus a. But since at x equals 0 tayo, we have x lang to the n. Pero ito, laging 0. So makukuha natin summation ng 0 where n runs from 0 to positive infinity. And since we're just adding and adding 0, we can see na yung Taylor series is just 0. And ang interval of convergence nito, madali nyo lang makikita, the set of all real numbers since wala ka ng x, no? So this one is always convergent regardless of the value of x. However, kung titignan natin na maigi, si e raised to negative 1 over x, ito siya. So, if x is less than or equal to 0, ito siya, no? They coincide. However, kapag tumawid ka na sa x greater than 0, you see, ito na si f of x. But your Taylor series stays to be 0. So, as we can see, we have found a function na merong Taylor series representation, pero yung representation na yun, at saka yung function itself, hindi equal, no? So, you just have to be careful with that one. Not all functions ay equal sa kanyang Taylor series. So, we can go on and derive some more Taylor series, but ang important here is yung mga famous na Taylor or yung Maclaurin series. So, for e raised to x, we have derived this one kanina. And similarly, you can derive the following for the other functions, like ln of 1 plus x, sine x, cosine x, sinh x, cos x, at saka itong binomial right here, 1 plus x quantity to the m. And here are the corresponding radius of convergence. So, ano yung gagawin natin ngayon? So, sabi natin dun sa ating recall for number 2, given a function, kaya natin maghanap ng power series na nagre-represent sa kanya. Tapos yung power series na yun, pwede siya magbigay ng magandang approximation for the function given a particular interval of convergence. So gagawin natin ngayon, gagamitin natin yung Taylor at saka Maclaurin series to approximate values of certain functions. So paano natin siya gagawin? Well, unfortunately, impossible na mag-add infinitely, no? For example, if you have a calculator, you cannot dictate a calculator or a computer to add an infinite sum. So, ano yung gagawin natin? Ita-truncate natin tong series na to. So, when I say truncate, ano yung ibig sabihin nito? Basically, pinuputol mo siya. So, gagawin natin here, I'll take this sum right here, but instead of an infinite sum, gagawin ko siyang finite sum. So, ika-cap off ko siya at a certain threshold value, say k. Then, ang gagawin ko, gagamitin ko yung truncated series na yon para mahanap yung approximation ng ating function. So, from here, we can talk about the so-called kth degree Taylor polynomial. So, ano tong kth degree Taylor polynomial? Basically, what we require here is a function f that is k times differentiable at x equals a. So, gagawin natin dahil k times differentiable siya at x equals a, siya na yung gagamitin natin na center ng ating Taylor polynomial. So, you have the formulation right here, yung inyong Taylor series, pero tinatruncate natin siya at k. So now observe that if the function f is equal to its Taylor series, so n equals 0 to positive infinity na f to the n of a over n factorial x minus a raised to n, then pwede natin itong isulat using the Taylor polynomial as the summation from n equals 0 to k. Sorry, it's earthquake drill, so let me stop here. Okay, going back dun sa sinasabi ko kanina, no? Kung tatandaan natin, if yung f of x ay kaya nating isulat using a power series, Then, pwede natin siyang isulat in this manner. Wait, let me just use a new page na lang. So, kung yung f of x ay equal sa kanyang Taylor series in particular, then pwede natin siyang isulat in this manner. Nth derivative of f at a over n factorial times x minus a to the n. And this one right here, pwede ko siyang split. So, isa-split ko yung sum into 2. Yung isa is from n equals 0 to k ng nth derivative of f at a over n factorial times x minus a to the n plus yung sum from n equals k plus 1 to positive infinity ng nth derivative of a over n factorial times x minus a to the n. Pero ano to? By definition, ito yung ating Taylor degree polynomial, yung kth degree Taylor polynomial, si p sub k of x. So from here, I can write f of x minus yung kth degree Taylor polynomial as the summation from n equals k plus 1 to positive infinity ng f to the n of nth derivative rather of f at a over n factorial times x minus a to the n. So pwede nating isipin tong term na to as the difference between the actual function minus yung ating approximation. So itong term na to, siya yung tatawagin ko as my r of x, which is the remainder from the kth degree Taylor approximation. So, sorry, maybe it's better if I write this as r sub k. So, yung remainder is the function r sub k given by f of x minus the kth degree Taylor polynomial. And if yung f ay infinitely differentiable, then masasabi natin na equal siya sa kanyang Taylor series kapag yung remainder as k approaches positive infinity ay papunta sa 0. So ano yung sinasabi nito? Basically, if your k is large enough, then dapat yung f of x minus p sub k of x ay paliit ng paliit. And in particular, dapat habang nilalakihan ko yung aking k or yung aking degree ng Taylor polynomial, dapat papunta ng 0 yung aking remainder. If that happens, then it's sufficient grounds for me to say na yung f of x at saka yung Taylor series, sila ay equal. So now, as a theorem, pwede natin gamitin yung remainder as some estimate para sa accuracy ng ating approximation. So suppose meron akong function na yung first k plus 1 derivatives exists in an open interval, and suppose that the kth derivative is continuous in the closed interval between x and a. Then for some z within that interval dependent on k, then yung remainder ay pwedeng isulat in terms of the k plus 1 term ng inyong Taylor series. So medyo confusing isipin, no? Pero basically, pwede mong isipin na from here, di ba, you have f of x equals p sub k of x plus rk of x. Since yung r sub k is dependent lang pala sa k plus 1th derivative or the k plus 1th term instead pala ng ating Taylor series, pwede mong isipin na si f of x is just the kth Taylor polynomial plus big O ng x to the k plus 1. So basically, kapag big O, sinasabi lang nito na we're dropping the higher order terms. Pwede nating isipin na yung convergence ng ating approximation relies solely on the k plus 1 derivative. So in particular, if this one goes to 0 as k goes to positive infinity, then masasabi natin na yung f of x is equal to the Taylor series. So ito, Taylor series. So basically, yun lang yung sinasabi nitong theorem na to. Parang you have the Kth-Taylor polynomial plus the higher terms which you can express actually using the k plus 1 derivative. And as a corollary, assume natin yung hypothesis ng theorem sa taas. Tapos kung ma-bound down natin ito, then automatically, mababound natin si Rk of x. So ano yung ibig sabihin nito? Kung yung ating k plus 1 derivative ay bounded, then we can find some sort of an estimate dun sa remainder. And if we have an estimate for the remainder, then we can actually talk about the accuracy ng kth degree polynomial up to a certain degree. So, pwede nating i-deduce up to what decimal point ba accurate yung ating Taylor approximation. So, as an example, let's consider f of x to be equal to cube root of x. Hanapin natin yung second degree Taylor polynomial na to about x equals 8. Then, use this to approximate cube root of 8.07. Then, furthermore, let's identify how accurate the approximation is kapag yung x daw ay in between 7 and 9. So, tignan natin. So, para makuha yung second degree Taylor polynomial, ano yung aking kailangan? So, that means k equals 2. So, meron akong f0 of a here times x minus a raised to 0. Pero ito ay 1 lang. Plus, first derivative over 1 factorial. So, you have the first derivative times x minus a plus the second derivative over 2 factorial. So, over 2 times x minus a raised to 2. So, kailangan natin here is yung function evaluation at x equals a, yung derivative, at saka yung second derivative evaluated at the center. So, dito, gusto raw natin is ang center ay 8. So, kunin natin si f of x, f prime of x, f double prime of x. Tapos, evaluate natin sila at x equals 8. So, f of x equals cube root of x, And if we evaluate this one at x equals 8, then we have the cube root of 8 equals 2. For f prime, you can show that this is 1 over 3 cube root of x squared. And if you evaluate this one at x equals 8, you can see that this is 1 over 12. Then si f double prime, this is negative 2 over 9 cube root of x raised to 5. And evaluating this one at x equals 8, we get negative 1 over 144. So yung details nito, iwan ko sa inyo as an exercise. Yeah. So given this one, we can now get the second degree Taylor polynomial. Thus, the second degree Taylor polynomial is given by p sub 2 of x to be equal to, so una, f of 8 times x minus 8 raised to 0, but that's 1, plus f prime of 8 over 1 factorial times x minus 8 raised to 1, plus f double prime of 8 over 2 factorial, x minus 8 raised to 2. Then plugging all of these, we get here 2 plus f prime natin is 1 over 12. So 1 over 12 over 1, we have 1 over 12 times x minus 8 plus negative 1 over 144 over 2 factorial. So that's minus 1 over 288 times x minus 8 raised to 2. And with this, we can plug 8.07 here. With this, we can plug 8.07 here. And this p sub 2 of 8.07 would actually be approximating cube root of 8.07 cube root of 8.07. And this one is 2 plus 1 over 12 times 8.07 minus 8 minus 1 over 288 times 8.07 minus 8. And by madugong arithmetic, mapapakita nyo na ito ay 5,776,793 over 288,0,000, or kapag kinalculate natin, siya ay 5,776,793 over 288,0,000, approximately 2.00583. Okay? So now we have an approximate for cube root of 8.07. Ngayon, ang gusto nating gawin is identify how accurate the approximation is kapag yung x ay in between 7 and 9. So paano natin siya gagawin? Basically, titignan natin yung remainder. Gusto nating malaman kung gaano kaliit yung remainder if k equals 2. So if k equals 2, ano yung kailangan natin? From this theorem, we have to compute the third derivative of x. So let's compute. So as for the accuracy, we have f triple prime of x. So I believe kaya nyo na rin itong gawin by your own. This is 10 over 27 times x raised to 8 over 3. And now that we have third derivative of f, ang gusto nating gawin is mabound itong derivative na to. So sabi natin here, yung 0 is within an open interval between x and a. And in particular, we have our specific interval here na 7 to 9. So ano yung gagawin natin? We assume that x is in 7 and 9. Then from here, hanap tayo ng certain bound for our derivative. So, paano natin siya gagawin? So next, if x is in between 7 and 9, then ang gusto natin, makahanap tayo ng upper bound for this one right here. Or in particular, yung absolute value niya, no? So, gagawin natin from this interval right here, kailangan ma-reconstruct ko tong interval na to. So, una natin pwedeng gawin is obtain the reciprocal. So, if x is in between 7 and 9, dapat si 1 over x ay in between. This time, lower bound natin is 1 over 9 and upper bound is 1 over 7. And in particular, if I raise to 8 over 3, ano yung mangyayari here? Yung 7, ma-raise din to 8 over 3. At yung 9, ma-raise din to 8 over 3. Then finally, multiplying 10 over 27, I get here 10 over 27. Tapos dito, 10 over 27. And observe, these are positive values. This is a positive value. This is a positive value. So pag in-absolute value ko to, mare-retain yung aking expression. So I can apply absolute value here and the inequality doesn't change. Kasi positive naman to, positive din to. So ano yung makikita natin? From here, we already have the upper bound that we have. We can say na si ating third derivative at any z, where z is in the interval 7 to 9, is bounded by this one. So let's just plug sa calculator kung ano to. I think I need this to be larger para makapag-scientific ako. So I have 10 over 27 10 over 27 times 1 over 7 to the 8 over 3. So I get here 0.0020 or approximately na lang, approximately 0.0021. So ito, I just specify here, nakuha natin by calculator. So what's our progress so far? Our progress so far is that from the theorem, nahanap na natin si M, no? Nahanap na natin si M. So I can plug M here. I have 0.0021 over k plus 1 factorial. So I have 3 factorial. Tapos, I have x minus 8 here raised to 3. Pero ito, since it's dependent on x, gusto ko mahanapan pa to further ng upper bound. So, sulat natin so far. So, we can take our m to be equal to 0.0021. And now, since sinabi natin na 7 is in between x and 9, x is in between 7 and 9 rather, ang gagawin natin, identify natin kung ano yung magiging bounds ni x minus a. But our 8 is 8, so kailangan natin ng x minus 8. If I subtract 8 to all parts of our inequality, I'll get 7 minus 8, which is negative 1. Tapos x minus 8 less than or equal to 9 minus 1, which is equal to 1. And by definition, this is equivalent to saying that x minus 8 is in between 1. And thus, for x in between 7 and 9, we can say that the remainder, or the absolute value of the remainder, is at most yung ating m natin is 0.021 over 3 factorial times the quantity x minus 8 raised to k plus 1, so that's 3. Pero si x minus 8 ay less than or equal to 1, therefore x minus 8 absolute value raised to 3, siya ay less than or equal to 1 din. So this is less than or equal to 0.0021 over 3 factorial and wala. We can show by calculator na this one is something less than 0.0004. So ano ibig sabihin nito? Ang ibig sabihin nito is that if we consider the second degree Taylor polynomial ng function na to about x equals 8, then as long as your x is in between 7 and 9, yung error mo is at most 0.0004. Or pwede natin isipin na accurate tayo up to the third decimal place. And that's not too bad, no? Kung titignan natin, ang naging information lang naman natin here is the function value at the center, the first derivative at the center, and the second derivative at the center. But we were able to approximate cube root of 8.07, or in particular, cube root of x for any x in between 7 and 9, up to 3 decimal places. Actually, maganda na yan, no? Kasi mababa pa lang yung degree. And what you'll expect here is kapag tinaasan ko pa further yung degree ng aking polynomial, yung aking RK, siya ay mas liliit pa lalo. So, mas gaganda yung aking estimate. So, as you can see, there's a trade-off, no? Gusto ko bang taasan ng todo yung degree para lumiit yung accuracy? Or gusto ko bang mag-settle at a lower degree, but in exchange, I have some acceptable error estimates? So, para lang mapakita natin yung use nito, maybe I can use my calculator here. Isalpak natin si cube root of 8.07. So, cube root of 8.07. Tapos, i-minus natin by the approximate na nakuha natin kanina. si 5776, 793 all over 2880000. As you can see, ang difference lang nila is pag e to the minus 5, this means na 10 to the minus 5, no? Yung ating error. So that means accurate tayo up to 5 decimal places. And that's not so bad, no? Bakit? Degree 2 nga lang yung ginamit natin, pero yung ating approximation is good up to 5 decimal places. And nangyari to, kasi yung 8.07, masyado siyang malapit sa 8. Pero pag nilayo natin ng onte, but as long as we're in between 7 and 9, ang sinasabi ng theorem, accurate raw tayo up to 0.0004. Or pwede natin isipin na accurate tayo up to 3 decimal places. And that's not too bad, no? So, yun yung silbi ng Taylor series, no? Yung Taylor series, pag truncate mo, you get the Taylor polynomial. And if you use a good enough degree, you see that you'll get a good enough approximation. So, let's have more examples. This time, ang gusto kong gawin is maghanap ng nth derivative of any function given its power series representation. So suppose f of x is written in this manner. Evaluate down natin yung 20/19th derivative nito at x equals 2. So paano ko siya gagawin? So recall natin na yung Taylor series is the power series. So ano ibig sabihin nun? If this is the power series representation of f of x, so summation n equals 1 to positive infinity ng, should this be x minus, sorry, this should be n equals 0. N equals 0 to positive infinity ng x minus 2 to the 2n plus 1 over 9 to the n to the 9. Sorry, tama. N equals 1. Oops, sorry. Ito dapat ay equal sa summation from n equals 0 to positive infinity c sub n times x raised to n. No? Tama? So, ano yung gagawin natin dito, class? Ang gagawin natin is gusto natin na ma-compare yung mga coefficients involved. So, paano natin sila magagawa to be comparable? Well, for them to be comparable, what you want to do here is, wait lang. Sorry. So, kailangan natin gawin is i-compare yung coefficients, no? However, since n equals 1 to, at ito ay n equals 0, kailangan makahanap tayo ng way. Okay. Kailangan makahanap tayo ng way na masulat ito, this one right here, as a summation from n equals 0. So, pwede natin gawin is to shift down by 1 to get n equals 0. And by shifting down 1, yung n here, itong mga n here, sila ay mapapalitan ng, ano kaya yung papalit natin sa kanila kapag mag-shift tayo? So observe, if n equals 0, to get n equals 1, kailangan ko mag-plus 1, no? So yung n here, kailangan kong gawin as n plus 1, para n plus 1 equals 1, which is the same right here. So ito, magiging x minus 2 raised to 2 times n plus 1 all over 9 to the n plus 1 to the 9. But this one, I can also write as summation n equals 0 to positive infinity x minus 2 to the 2 times n plus 1. So that's 2n plus 2 plus 1. I get 2n plus 3 all over 9 to the n plus 1 to the 9. Pero kung tatandaan natin, once again, si power series, siya ay the same lang as the Taylor series. So this is Fn at A, pero ang A natin in this case, siya ay 2, no? Over n factorial times x minus A. So that x minus 2 raised to n. So oops, this is not x raised to n. This is x minus 2 raised to n. So equate natin to summation n equals 0 to positive infinity Fn of 2 over n factorial times x minus 2 raised to n. So paano natin siya gagawin? So to get the 2019th derivative, ang gagawin ko, i-equate ko yung n here to 2019 so that I get f to the 2019 of 2 over 2019 factorial times x minus 2 raised to n. Dito naman, on the other side, gusto ko ipagpantay sila, no? So, sorry, hindi na to n. This is already 2019. Gusto ko sila ipagpantay. So, gusto ko, yung exponent na x minus 2 ay 2019 din. So, gagawin ko, I'll equate 2n plus 3 to 2019. And if I do this, I'll get n to be equal to 2019 minus 3, that's 2016. 2016 over 2, that's 1008. N equals 1008. So if I do that, I'll get here x minus 2 to the 2n plus 3, that's 2019, times 1 over 9 raised to 1008 plus 1. So that's 9 to the 2019 times n plus 1 to the 9. So n plus 1 natin, ay sorry, but 2019 to. So n plus 1, 1008 plus 1, that's 1009. Times n plus 1, so 1008 plus 1 is 1009 to the power 9. So, dahil equal ito at ito, that means that 1 over 9 raised to 1009, 1009 raised to 9, siya dapat ay equal to f to the 2019 of 2, or 2019 derivative of 2 rather, over 2019. Finally, multiplying both sides by 2019, I get 2019 factorial over 9 to the 1009, 1009 to the 9 equals f to the 2019 of 2. So, paano yung process here? Basically, it's recognizing that the Taylor series is the power series. So, kailangan mapag-compare ko yung coefficients na aking power series at saka nung Taylor series. To get the 2019 derivative, I want that the power of this one is 2019, so I take 2019. Then for the other series, gusto ko na mahanap din yung term na may power na 2019. And that's n equals 1008. Then once that I find that out, I just compare their coefficients. So I have this one equals this one, finally giving us this one right here. Okay? So last example, express natin yung summation from 0 to 1 ng x squared times cosine x squared as a series of constant terms. So, paano natin siya gagawin? Balik tayo dito sa table. We know that cosine of x equals this one right here, no? So, note that si cosine of x, siya ay equal sa summation from n equals 0 to positive infinity ng negative 1 to the n times x raised to 2n over 2n factorial. So this means that si x squared times cosine x squared, siya dapat ay equal saan? So si x squared ay matitira, si cosine x squared would just be this one, Pero lahat ng x ay papalitan ko ng x squared. So I'll have times summation from n equals 0 to positive infinity ng negative 1 to the n times x squared to the 2n over 2n factorial. And ano yung makukuha ko here? So x squared raised to 2n, ito ay x raised to 4n. Tapos pag ito, pinasok ko sa loob, madadagdagan ng 2 yung power ni x. So I get summation n equals 0 to positive infinity ng negative 1 to the n times x raised to 4n plus 2 all over 2n factorial. So now that I have a series representation for x squared cosine x squared, ang pwede kong gawin is palitan ito by the series representation. Tapos ang integrate ko this time is the series representation itself. So, hence, yung integral from 0 to 1 ng x squared times cosine x squared, pwede natin palitan as the integral from 0 to 1 ng summation from n equals 0 to positive infinity negative 1 to the n times x to the 4n plus 2 all over 2n factorial. And by the power rule for integral, ano yung mangyayari here? Ang mangyayari here is madadagdagan lang ng power si x. So magiging x to the 4n plus 3 ito. Tapos yung 4n plus 3, i-divide natin. So you have 2n factorial times 4n plus 3. And this one, we evaluate from x equals 0 to x equals 1. So let's see what happens. If x equals 1, ano yung mangyayari? If x equals 1, ito magiging 1. 1 raised to anything equals 1. So I get negative 1 to the n over 2n factorial times 4n plus 3 minus, if we evaluate this one at 0, so pag sinalpak natin si 0, alam natin na x raised 0 raised to, So alam natin na if x equals 0, then x raised to 4n plus 3 equals 0, provided 4n plus 3 is not equal to 0. Pero ano yung n natin? Ang n natin ay equal to 0, or yung ating starting index rather. Ang ating starting index ay 0. And dahil ang starting index natin ay 0, that means that the lowest possible value for 4n plus 3 ay 4 times 0 plus 3, which is equal to 3. So, since n is greater than or equal to 0, this means that 4n plus 3 is greater than or equal to 3. And therefore, dahil 4n plus 3 ay greater than or equal to 3, automatically, x to the 4n plus 3 ay equal to 0 if n is greater than or equal to 0. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? That means, if x is equal to 0, ito, 0 agad. And dahil 0 to, itong buong to, 0 agad. So, minus 0 here. Finally, I get the summation from n equals 0 to positive infinity ng negative 1 to the n over 2n factorial times 4n plus 3. And that ends our discussion. And that ends Unit 2. So, for your second long exam, we start with the sequence of constant terms, then hanggang sa series of constant terms, yung mga test for convergence, leading up to general series of non-zero terms. So, papasok na dun yung concepts at saka yung test for absolute convergence. Then after that, power series. Then finally, Taylor series. So, good luck on your exam. Thank you everyone and see you next time.